First, I want to talk about building rapport. I'm going to call on people because I need to see how you guys build rapport. And then I'm going to, chime in on how I do it. So Christian Zarama, are you there?
Yes, sir.
So I want to start with you. Let's go over when you speak to a buyer for the first time. I'm the buyer, you're the broker. I call you up, I'm interested in your restaurant, and it's a first time call. So let's do a role play. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, is this Mike?
This is Mike. How's everything?
How are you, man? I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Another day in paradise. But this is actually Christian from Headstone. I saw that you messaged me about a restaurant that I had for sale in Orlando. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, no, I just reached out online. I saw that you have a restaurant. I'm looking to get into something. I just left my job and I want to buy something for my son and myself.
Oh, nice. And you said you just left your job. What did you do before, if you don't mind me asking?
I was an engineer for a big train company, and I'm basically retired, and I'm looking to get something for my son.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Keeping it in the family. That's always nice.
See, sorry, those little things like what Christian just said, keeping in the family, things to build rapport like that, and can affirm and get people comfortable. That's all what this is about. So great job on that. Let's keep going.
So how old is your son?
My son is 24.
Oh, nice. Is he your only child, or you have multiple kids?
I have one child. I have one
That's
child.
awesome.
We're looking for some cash flow, and I saw that this is a small restaurant. You have about 7 employees, and we're really looking to keep busy. Do you think this is a good fit for something for my son?
This is a good fit. If your son's going to be working it and operating it, it's a perfect fit. Right now, the guy, he's making this cash flow completely hands off. So this guy works from literally home, on a desk. Doesn't step foot in the place unless he's eating there. But you can really replace someone like a manager or someone if you came in with your son and he operated it. He would stay busy. He would make a lot of money. And it looks like you guys are very, very nice people. So, I can only imagine how many regulars you'll have, and it'll just shoot up the business a ton. That's very good. But just curious, do you have experience in the restaurant industry at all?
I do not. No experience.
Okay. And your son at all? Have you
No,
ever?
no experience.
Okay. So the good thing about this place is the guy is very, very transparent. And actually, the reason that he's selling is because he's also building a family. His wife is pregnant. He wants to move back to his country, which is Brazil. Obviously he's not going to leave you guys to hang out and dry. The good thing about this guy is he's willing to transition for a very extensive period. He'll teach you the ropes from A to Z and how to be, an operator and how to do exactly what he did, and even, go above and beyond to make sure that you and your son are completely, comfortable before moving forward. So that's also good.
I have a question for you.
Sure. Absolutely.
And also, all right, I'll go forward. As far as, restaurants, do I need to know everything in the business? I mean, I have no experience. Usually, Christian, just to stop this, usually and you're doing a phenomenal job, by the way, but usually when someone says they don't have experience, this is what I do. The way you do it is great. I'm not saying to change it, but just a little tip that I do, I take it away from them. Like I say, when someone says I don't have experience in the restaurant, I would say you really need experience, to get into the restaurant. And this might sound crazy to everyone, but if they really want it, it makes them want it. Psychology makes them want it even more. So I'm like, it's a fine dining restaurant. You really need experience in this business. I don't know if this would be a right fit if you don't have experience. And then they would say, well, I'll learn. And you say, listen, I'm just letting you know. Honestly, I'm just letting you know. And just that little, 1 minute thing right there, that will get him to trust you even more. But you're doing a great job. If it works for you, don't just keep doing what you're doing. That's just something.
That's very true. It's very true.
I like to take things away from people and then just basically test them and see how they come back at it. But I want to switch gears a little bit. Now let's do you're trying to get a listing agreement from me.
Sure.
Let's change this up completely. This is what I really want to focus on. So I'm a restaurant owner. You're calling me. I'm going to be a little tough with you on this. I want to be a difficult seller. So sure. I want to see how you rebuttal things. Okay. So I have a restaurant in Florida. And I'm calling you now. Hey, Christian, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going, Mike? How are you?
Good. So I have a restaurant I want to sell. I don't want to sign an agreement with anyone. If you have a buyer, bring it to me. And if not, then I'll try to sell it myself.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Listen, if you're concerned about paying a fee or anything, if you want to try it by yourself, by all means, I'm not going to push you. But as brokers, we have a Rolodex of over 1,000 buyers that would take this restaurant in a second, and we really take care of all the headaches. I mean, I don't know if you sold a business by yourself before, but
Oh yeah, I've sold businesses. I've sold so many businesses by myself, and I'm just interested if you have a buyer. So could you send buyers to me?
I could, but we work on a commission, base. We get deals done in under 3 months. Yeah, you're tripping me up.
Yeah. So this is what I would say is what matters most to you, Mr. Seller, is what you put in your pocket, right? What do you want in your pocket? Just make up a number, 500,000.
250,000.
250,000. Okay, so if you want 250,000, I'm gonna list the business at 300,000. We're gonna go over your numbers right now. If it makes sense, I'm gonna put it at 300,000. If it doesn't make sense, then you can try and sell it yourself. And when you want me to come in and sell it for you, I'm ready. So let's go. Are you okay with going over your numbers right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go over 2022. Was that your best year in the last 2 years, or was 21 better?
2022 obviously was a lot better.
22, okay. If you said 2020 when 21 was better, what I would say is, okay, if that's the case, because now you want to build rapport. So I would say if that's the case, then let's do an average of the last 2 years, because then, you would get a higher average if 21 is better. If 22 is better, you just stick with 22. So, okay, 2022, what are your gross sales?
2022, my gross sales were 1.5.
1.5, okay. How many employees do you have?
I have about 12 employees.
12 employees, not bad. And you're doing 1.5. So your payroll, usually when I talking to sellers, I guesstimate to them. Like if someone tells me 12 employees, I say I usually give $1,000 per employee per week. Like that's my first guess. And I just hit them with that. I'm like, all right, so your payroll is about 10 to 12K a week. I always make it a little lower to 10 to 12K a week. And then
it's almost more around the 14 because I have 2 managers that pretty much run the whole show. So it's about 14,000.
Okay, and then as far as your payroll, do you pay people, is everyone in check, or do you have cash as well? Just so I know.
For the most part, everyone in the front of the house check, the back of the house half and half.
So what kind of you're doing about 30,000 a week, 1.5 million. $1.5 million a year. What are your food bills? What do you think your total food bills are a week?
A week, my total food bills would come out to about 7,500 a week.
7,500. Okay. Is that including drinks?
That's including everything.
Do you have a liquor license?
I have a beer and wine.
Okay. So 7,500 plus 14,000 is 21,500, right? And you're doing 30,000 a week. So your payroll and your food costs together, which are your 2 biggest expenses, if you do that into 30,000, you're at 71% already without even paying rent.
Yeah.
What's your rent?
So my rent's actually very good. My rent is currently I pay $3,500 for rent a month.
3,500. So 3,500 a month is $807 a week. So now we're looking at about 22,000. Let's say 22,000 a week. Everything else is minor. Utilities, insurance, all that stuff is minor. So let's say you're all in for 25,000 a week. Does that sound about right? You're making about $5,000.
Yeah, sounds about, yeah.
And of course, your salary is not included, right? So you work there full time, and the 5,000 a week is including your full time salary, correct?
I work there part time. I pay myself about 1,000 a week.
Is that including 14,000?
No.
Okay, so it's another 1,000.
Yeah, so
you got to account for a manager. So we're looking at 4,000 a week. So restaurants typically are evaluated between 1 to 1.5 times your cash flow. So if you're making $4,000 a week, that's $200,000 a year. So I would come in between $200,000 and $300,000. So I can get this done. As you can tell, I've been around the block. I work with Hedgestone, the #1 business brokerage in the whole country. We're growing organically. We have systems and processes to make everything as confidential as possible. Anyone that comes to your restaurant is not going to say a word to anyone. They're just going to order their food. They're trained to do this. I train them. They're going to order their food. They're going to call me after. And then if they're interested, they're going to set up a meeting. None of your employees are going to know. None of your customers are going to know. That's how we operate over here. How does that sound?
That sounds perfect. I definitely don't want any of my employees to know.
So you want 250,000 in your pocket. That's not a problem. Why don't you let me handle it? Let's list it at 300,000. We'll try to get you a little more. Yeah, we can get you probably a little more. So, could we sign an agreement today?
Yeah, send me over what you have and I'll look at it. Now, if I sign it with you, can I only use you as a broker? Can I use someone else?
So you can only use me as a broker because I'm going to put my blood, sweat, and tears into this. I'm not some broker that's just going to post it on Craigslist and wait. You got to give me at least 4 to 6 months. We could start at 4 if you'd like. If I can't sell it in 120 days, if I have no traction in 120 days, we're wasting our time, so let's lock up an exclusive right now. I would prefer 6, but if you want to just test this out, let's do 4. And, I'll send you the agreement. I'll send you my information, get it back to me today. I'll give you a 2% discount. Is that good?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I'm sending you an email.
Say it's not that simple. The person's kind of like, nah, I don't want to deal with any kind of commitment. I already have potential buyers coming in, this, that, and the other. Is it kind of like, I've noticed that some sellers they like a little bit more of aggression, because I was saying to someone, like, why would I have my entire team go through the process of building out a full offering memorandum to present to buyers, my marketing team building a whole marketing campaign to promote your business, my marketing team going out on every platform online, including our hundreds and tens of thousands of buyer listings. Why would I have my team and invest that time if you're not willing to commit to some kind of an agreement with me?
You can say that. That's good, but a lot of these aggressive sellers, they want to get, if you can school them with numbers, if you can school them with facts, if you can break down their numbers on the phone, quickly without a calculator, knowing your shit, they're going to be impressed.
Right.
And this game is all about psychology. If someone's really nice, you'd be really nice back to them. If someone's really aggressive to you, you'd be really nice to them, but you really hit them with facts and you really try to school them mentally with the numbers. That works for me. If someone's like, you can go at me right now and tell me, I'll be a seller and I'll tell you how to respond to you.
Yeah, I've been doing this for a long time. I've been in business for 25 years. This is kind of my thing. So I'm not going to commit to anybody or anything about what, percent seems like a lot to give someone after I built this business.
Oh, I understand. It definitely seems a lot, but we got to focus on what you put in your pocket. That's why we get paid a lot, because we get you the most amount of money in the quickest amount of time. So what do you want in your pocket?
1.5 minimum, nothing less.
I get it. Okay. 1.5. Let's break down the numbers. And then I would break down all the numbers. I would say, what's your gross revenue? What's your payroll? What's your food cost? Whatever business is, what are your utilities? I would get that net profit, and then I would tell them how we evaluate businesses. If they're so far out of space, we're wasting our time. If they're in the sweet spot, then we have to continue to build that rapport and we got to sell them.
What do you do when you're like, okay, so what's your net? What do you take home? And they're like, I don't want to go there. I don't want to talk about it.
Well, for me to give you a proper evaluation, we need to know, we need to know exactly, but I need to know an estimate of your numbers. So if they're not willing to give you the numbers, it's not even worth your time. Honestly, if someone's not giving you the numbers and not giving you a shot, then respectfully let them know when you're ready. We're here. There's 30 million businesses out there right now, guys. 30 million. Everything is for sale, just at the right price. So don't get upset. Don't get discouraged. If someone's going to be aggressive and not want to work with you, that's their problem. We'll get another deal. But if we can work with someone, if they're a little difficult, have the patience, break down the numbers. It's a lot of consistency. You're gonna get awkward. You're gonna get uncomfortable, but it's gonna make you that much better. It took me really 6-7 years to really master. I didn't master it yet, but it took me a while to get to where I am.